Mr. and Mrs. Kavanagh were not in court today. They say they're still terrified by what happened and have since moved out of Gorton. Now, the judge said that Druitt does pose a further risk to the public and is highly likely to commit further levels of violence and even the possibility of death. Katie has spent 5 days now on the intensive care unit. I've spoken to staff nurses like Diane who say Katie is doing well. She only has minimal support. She is fed via a tube. Now, Mum and Dad desperately want Katie home for Christmas, but it's thought she'll be in here till at least February. Even his old primary school is right behind him. So some of the good luck cards that Robbie's received over the last few weeks have come from these pupils here. And what did you write in yours?
Robbie, I hope you win the competition. Love from Martha, age 5.
Fantastic. And what about you?
I wrote go, go, Robbie.
And did you draw a picture?
Yeah. Ollie putting his leg over his head.
Fantastic move. And with that, surely you should win the competition. And what do the rest of the class think? Filming was cancelled when the producer of Coronation Street broke the news that Maggie Jones had sadly passed away. Now, she did live here at number 1 and she could often be heard disagreeing with Ken and Deirdre. Now, anyone who crossed her path here on the cobble streets of Coronation Street, you know, her wit was unleashed upon them. And again here at the Rovers Return, the same happened. There was nobody that could escape the wit of Blanche. It's disappointing for fans that these fixtures have been cancelled. Around 1,100 usually turn up to watch their favourite team play. They're so determined to get a match underway that they've even suggested coming down here, running up and down the pitch using their body heat to melt the snow and the ice. But there is a serious side to this. The club says they've already lost around £30,000 in revenue. There was no sign of the Rooneys outside court this morning, but the agent responsible for looking after Wayne Rooney's career as a footballer and off-the-field earnings was there. Back in summer, this warehouse was filled with furry hamsters. Now, up to 700,000 have been distributed throughout the UK, and this is the last pallet that's just about to leave and head to the shops. So as you think about your plans for this weekend, perhaps you'll swap a night out at the pub and head down to here Exchange Square. The NHS is supporting an event where people get the chance to try non-alcoholic drinks and think about how much they consume. Figures show the number of alcohol-related deaths has more than doubled since the 1990s. Common carp tend to grow around 1.5 metres and weigh over 80 pounds. Only the mirror carp can tend to be that little bit larger. Now, the hunt is definitely not over for Warren then, but I think his wife Jackie has other ideas. Jackie, what do you think of Warren's accomplishments so far, and do you want him to continue fishing?
Well, his accomplishment, I mean, he's done absolutely brilliant and I'm really, really proud of him. It's something he's wanted to do for years.
And if you actually started your Christmas shopping, who's in charge of buying the kids' presents and choosing them?
Michelle. She gives me the list. We go through all the catalogue. She'll pick what she wants to get the kids and then sends me shopping to get it all.
Michelle can only move her eyes and raises them to answer yes. Do you want to go home and spend that Christmas morning with your family and your children?
It's a big yeah. Your head's moving as well with it.
That's a definite yes.
Yeah.
Michelle and Rick want to recreate this family get-together for just 3 or 4 hours on Christmas Day. Now they need a fully trained nurse who can specifically care for a tracheostomy, and Rick's desperately waiting to hear from anyone who can help. Mr. O'Neill had only been gone a few moments, and it was here on the bank's car park that he was viciously attacked. Not for his wallet, but for the vital immobiliser key to his high-performance Corsa. So Andrew, we're in Manchester City Centre. Tell me what's taking place then today.
Well, we've had fundraising and awareness raising events all throughout the weekend leading up to today, which is actually World AIDS Day.
It must be great that you're saving all this money.
It is great. It's about £40–50 a week. Goes in a tin for camping trips.
Restored red phone boxes can sell for thousands. Now here in the picturesque Saddleworth area, there are just 5 of these left, and the local parish council have bought 2 for just £1 each. And I'm going to speak to a local man to find out why they're so important to the local heritage.
Hello. It is a grade 2 listed box and it will be sad to see it go.
It's a devastating time for family, friends and the people of Stalybridge. Now here in the War Memorial Gardens is a place where locals will gather and remember those who fought and died for their country. And Kingsman Sean Dawson is another one that they'll remember and pay tribute to. And this is what all the excitement's about. Selling at $9.99, kids can't wait to get their hands on these furry little creatures on Christmas morning. And my favourite, Mr. Squiggles, makes noises like this.
I just don't know what makes them tick. You know, it could have, I said, you know, if he'd have been violent or anything, could have come dashing in.
It's thought he conned hundreds of other victims over the years. Now, Mark Maskell used a sponsorship form, falsely claiming he was raising money for this homeless charity. Now, it's thought he used the money to fund a drug habit, and it's a place that he came to seek help. The fire spread through the 3-storey family home and killed his 8-year-old son John, his 14-year-old stepson Jordan and 19-year-old stepdaughter Carly. His barrister Jeffrey Samuels QC then asked him what he intended to happen when he lit the petrol. He answered, hopefully to kill myself. What about anybody else? Nobody, he replied. What about the children? Did you give them any thought? I just didn't think, he said. Local residents living here and shop owners say that these gates have been successful. They've been in place for the last 2 years, and they say the level of crime has been reduced and antisocial behaviour has gone down. Now, this is definitely something I can cross off my wish list. It's a fantastic piece of engineering. It's built out of wood, aluminium, steel and even rubber. And even more so, it's part of a family classic. Now, this thing is expected to sell for up to £250,000. The Pink Panther one around 100 grand. So it's time for me to do this and see if it really does fly. Graham Folks, a father grieving for his 22-year-old son David, a pain he says will never go away. And now a Court of Appeal judge has met with the 52 families to let them know the latest decision. Police are concerned as he's on medication which can make him sleepy and quite disorientated. He left without his wallet and watch.
Okay, these are missing persons leaflet that we drop through every local door, obviously, because he hasn't been so well.
Stuart O'Neill also faced charges of theft and fraud today. The judge described him as someone who lived a feral life, looking for things to steal, when he came across an unfortunate victim who was drunk, vulnerable and only 17 years of age. Eventually, the young girl was helped by 21-year-old Sean Phoenix, who contacted police.